What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Brand to Table podcast. As we continue the influencer series, I have another amazing guest that I want to introduce you guys to. His production value caught my attention. As a branding guy for 16 years, his videos definitely caught my eye when it came to beautiful, when it came to well thought out, when it came to just premium and upscale. So I had to have him on the show because one, I think he's an excellent creator, but two, he has that eye for the creative design and production value that I really, really appreciate. So without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to Ross Reed, aka the Buffalo Chicken Pizza Guy. What is going on, Ross?
Yo, what's up? It's the Buffalo Chicken Pizza Guy. What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Dude, I love how flexible you are. We're literally like shooting in the car. We're making it happen. Another day, another dollar, right? So
That's right.
let's get into it. You've been in the food game for quite some time. I didn't actually know this prior. So give us the quick version of, who the Buffalo Chicken Pizza Guy is and how did this all start?
Yeah, okay. So I started in restaurants. That was my first job ever. It was a pizza place. It was in West Long Branch. I'm from Monmouth County. From there, I was a counter guy. I delivered pizzas with an actual paper map. So there was no iPhone, no Apple Maps, nothing like that. And then from there, just restaurant after restaurant after restaurant. And that was all I did for, most of my working career.
And then the creator economy happened. And it sounds to me, we were talking offline a little bit before the show, and you said that, you were kind of watching creators from afar before you kind of hopped in the saddle and started doing your thing. So how much time was that? And what made you kind of jump over and say, all right, it's time to do this?
So, just watching from afar, I always idolized Anthony Bourdain. And I watched all these creators making their content, and what they lacked was what he always had to me. Granted, there's always good content creators that I've always looked at and wow, they're doing it right. But like for me, he was able to capture an honest, very transparent look inside the restaurant industry. And he really connected with the employees, the owners, the customers. And he really gave you the feel of what it's like to eat in that restaurant, into that establishment, to be in a part of their life, and, brand to table, right? That he gave you their brands and how it's put on their table. And I want to do that through my content.
Interesting. Real quick, let me back up a second. You're from West Long Branch?
I'm from the Long Branch, Monmouth County area. Yeah.
Okay, I grew up in Long Branch, but I think I'm a lot older than you.
You probably know my family very well, actually.
Okay, what's the last?
Hayes.
My
Kevin
goodness.
Hayes.
Yes, Kevin Hayes. I went to high school with him.
It's my cousin.
What a small world. What a
And
freaking
he's
small
also
world.
in the industry as well. He is in liquor sales.
My God, how fun. Dude, tell him Henry Kaminsky said what's up from LBHS. I'm sure he's going to remember me. That's
so funny.
Funny, dude. What a small world. Well, let's get back into our conversation in regards to the truth about going viral, because I feel like a lot of influencers have a viral touch. Some of them don't. You had said something interesting. The restaurants that go viral either go viral because of straight luck or because of they actually want to grow. What separates the ones that get lucky versus the ones that just keep winning?
So when I say lucky, I mean like anyone can post and people do it all the time. You post a grainy video of anything and it could go viral and it could blow up your restaurant, your social media presence in general. And that to me is lucky because it really wasn't skill that was involved to make that video. It was just, it hit the algorithm, it hit the river that flows into the ocean and exploded, right? And that can happen. That's the lucky aspect. Now, because people have paved the way to virality, restaurants who want to win, who want to succeed, can follow the path that like other other creators have set in stone. They can get there just by following the path of like what's going to work, like high quality videos, content that people want to see, and just engaging presence online is so important. Like those lucky videos are great. I don't know if they're going to take you to the top of the mountain, and if they do, good luck staying there. But you need to really plant your feet in the ground with the style you want to do, and always be ready to adapt and evolve.
So let me ask you this, Ross. What does it look like when a restaurant actually wants to grow? Like what kind of mindset, what kind of consistency or openness do those owners usually have?
Well, they have those kinds of owners will have an open mind when it comes to creativity. And, that doesn't just apply to content, it applies to their menu. They're not going to just run the same old items over and over again that people know and love, which they can do that too, but put a little spin on it. And then also, you need to have new dishes. You need to be creative. You need to push the boundaries. People have seen a chicken parmesan, they've seen a meatball sub, they've seen a BLT. Now, how do you elevate those dishes? That's up to you. But those are the kinds of things that people want on top of the basic comforts that people do want a chicken parm, they do want a meatball sub, but how do you elevate that? How do you bring new people into the door that if they just see those items on a menu, they're like, oh, that's just the run of the mill pizza place or restaurant, whatever it is. You need to look like you are trying, that you actually have passion for food. Because if you don't, then you just have food. You don't have the passion, you just have the food.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think I want to add one more thing too. I think there's a mindset thing too when it comes to owners that really want to grow and ones that are just kind of like looking very short term. And that mindset is investment versus cost. I think a lot of times these owners are like, oh, this is going to cost me another 300. It's going to cost me another 3,500 or whatever. But they're not looking at marketing as an investment. And we had Dante Ishmael on not too long ago. He owns the Pizza One brand. And he was talking about how restaurants will pay premium for all of their ingredients and go top notch on that side, but they skimp out and they get super cheap when it comes to marketing. And he's like, I can't figure that out because if you don't have marketing, nobody's going to even know about your food. So, like,
Yeah, it's like buying a Lamborghini and just leaving it in the garage.
right. Exactly. Right. So I wanted to share that because I think there's a mindset shift there when they start to look at marketing and they start to look at growth as an investment and there's really no finish line, especially some of these operators that like they're building a legacy here. They're going to give it to their kids or they're going to grow and expand to multiple units. Like they have to constantly think of like, all right, it's just another day. It's just another brick by brick. We lay this empire, right? So I think that's something that we really want to highlight. Let me ask you this: when a place suddenly gets the attention, like let's say Portnoy comes in and he slams them with an awesome review, what should restaurant owners do to kind of capitalize on that attention instead of just letting it kind of fade out?
Well, one, the Portnoy effect is real, and two, it doesn't last forever. So that window of time you have to capitalize on it, it's about a month span. And I mean, realistically, it's about a week, but then you have that to ride out that extra business for that month or so. So I would say number one, you need to really up the quantities of your product because dough, cheese, sauce, because guess what? People are going to come through the door. So be prepared for more business than ever before. And then also, what I did with a local pizzeria that I work with, Pesitos in Toms River, we capitalized on a collaboration with another local restaurant based on the success of their score, which was very high, and the local reception to their pizza and the acknowledgement from Portnoy. People thought that they had the best pizza, and then he kind of just solidified it. And I think you need to jump on the opportunity when he comes through, gives you that good score. Reach out to someone who else also is serious about social media because you're just going to build the brand exponentially from there.
Yeah, I definitely see like a coattail being ridden. He can set that tone, and then you can have other influencers come in and mention that score, and it sort of just kind of like amplifies him and that
Yeah.
score and that visit, right? And I could see that
Yeah.
lasting much longer than to your point, like a week or a month, because the more times you say it, and I think a lot of people get mixed up here. They think they say it once and like that's all they have to say it. And like that's not marketing because you might have 15 more followers than you did last week. You might have 100, 200 more followers than you did last month. Those
Yeah.
people didn't see your stuff, and you can't assume that they did. So you had mentioned that you did this collab between, what is it, Pesitos?
It's Pesitos because their last name is Pesito, but to play with pizza, dough, Pesitos, that's
Ah, I see. They're getting a little clever there.
yes.
Pesitos and Burger 25. So you did those collabs, and what made those campaigns work so well? And what could other restaurants kind of learn from those campaigns?
Well, okay, so like I mentioned before too, Burger 25, they take social media very seriously. They're very good at it. They have a great team, a great ownership, and they love that stuff, which is it's great. You need to do that in this day and age. So I reached out to them. I spoke to Aiden. He runs those places over there, Burger 25, and they always do a burger of the month. So I figured, why not do a collab where Pesitos has a Pesitos flavor profile transported into a burger over there, Burger 25. So we did a burger of the month, and then we also did a Pesitos, a pizza of the month, which was a burger. They have I think it's called the Big Smack, which is their version of and we did a pizza of the month. They did a burger of the month. So that just it combined very well. It married well, and together we had promotion that lasted for a little bit over a month, promoting it to get to that month. And then during that month it was just jam packed with promotional marketing and different pieces of content that we were both able to bounce and forth back to each other, and it was great. And I highly suggest anyone collabing with a restaurant or brand that takes social media seriously, that's local to you and your community, because otherwise it's you can get a big global brand, good on you. Really, you want to capitalize on the local scene that's close
Yeah,
to you.
listen, yeah, I totally agree with you on the local collab piece, because rising tides do raise all ships, and having that local flavor and being able to help out a fellow business owner, I believe when you put that energy into the universe, it does come back to you. It might not come back to you right away, but it's going to come back to you at some point. So I love the content that you put out on your feeds, and you kind of took something that was already trending, like this Portnoy rating system, and you turned it into like a creative partnership. So how important is the timing and awareness in influencer marketing? Because I feel like some restaurants kind of just miss it by a hair, and then it's all influencer marketing's fault. It's not no one else's fault, if you know what I mean.
Sure. Honestly, what I would say as far as timing goes with social media, it's everything. It's also nothing. I do believe that because there could be the trendiest of trends that come through and everyone sees them. It'll be like, whether it's the whole staff moving their arms at the same time, pouring in some sauce or whatever, and it's a trending thing. And the trendy things are great, but you know who they're the best for? The people who created them. Other than that, you're just hopping on the bandwagon. It's not going to do much for your business. You could be trendy and say, "Look, we're with the times. We got our ear to the pulse." But you know, it's only good for the people that created those trends. I would venture out to say, be creative yourself. Try to create things that other people would want to replicate, because it's going to be really tough. But that's my goal anyway, is to not really copy, but to create. I highly suggest that for any restaurant owner or social media team.
People are going to see it, you know? I mean, listen, everything, I look at it this way, kind of everything has been done before until it hasn't. But
Hmm.
I love the old phrase, like success leaves clues, and model what works. I get all of that, but if you don't put your spin on it, then it's just like a mock, you know? And I think I love what you're doing, because you have this tone of voice that a lot of other creators have, but you put your spin on it. You
Sure.
have a very specific look to your videos, putting your own spin on it, right? Some of
Sure.
those
Sure.
videos you put out, Ross, like, they look like they were done by a production team. And I think
Thank you so much.
that's what sort of grabbed my attention, because I was like, wait a second, this is an influencer just doing a feature. And not to poo-poo on that, but what I'm saying was, like, a lot of times influencers go in with their phones, they crank it out, and it looks very, like, it looks very, amateur's not the
Manufactured.
word. Yeah, yeah, but it looked like off the hip, right? But like
Yeah, yeah.
you got the angles, you got the lighting, you have the framing all all dialed in, which I think really says something about the quality that you put into your work. So I want to get into kind of the next chapter of this conversation because again, not every creator is out there to help restaurant owners build and grow their business. So I want you to help restaurant owners right now. Tell the difference between a creator who's genuinely out there to help you grow and the ones that are just out there for like a free meal and the exposure.
Yeah. Well, the key factor to that is recognizing someone's personality on a very basic human level. I mean, like, for example, like you're gonna get if they reach out to you as a restaurant owner via Instagram, TikTok, whatever it may be, and you get a very typed up, almost AI generated
Cookie cutter.
cookie cutter what's the word I'm looking for? Like package, like social media package. Well, okay, look, it does tell you that number one, they're professional, but also it tells you there's a paywall here and there's people you have to speak to get to that person. It's not very personable. I'm not steering people away from those content creators because they are a business. So what I always tell business owners is you're a small business, I'm a small business, right? So we're all small businesses. But at the end of the day, you get, Joe Smith, who owns the pizzeria down the street, and a big influencer contacts him saying they need $1,000 to $5,000 to come in. I mean, they're just gonna never read it. They're never gonna respond. But if someone actually reaches out to you on a personal level and you grow and you see like, oh, this is an actual human being that really wants to help my business, look for those types of relationships. They're not easy to come by, but they are out there attainable. That's what we struggle with is finding the real honest creators nowadays
Yeah.
because a lot of people they do want the money, they do want the free meal. And listen, I want money too. I want food too. I want all that stuff, but there's a balance and there's also business helping business, person helping person. Those things are very very important in life, not just in business.
I think a lot of restaurant owners these days are looking, well, not just restaurant owners, but I think business owners in general, they're looking to build that relationship. I think businesses grow and prosper with strong relationships first.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
put the relationship first, there's different expectations, there's a different frequency, there's a different connection. And I think if you spend the time to create that relationship, I always say there's frequent flyer miles and I think it's important for people to know because it's not just one quick hit wonder and we're gonna get these influencers in there and it's gonna like change the trajectory of your business.
Hmm.
It might not. But
Hmm.
you definitely want to focus on the intention first, the relationship first. And if you start to if right out of the gate it feels very disingenuous or very distant, I would reconsider that influencer because there are plenty out there that wanna create the connection and relationship. We just had Jess Knows the Deal on a
I
couple
listened
days
to it. It was
ago,
great. It was a great.
and yeah, and she said the same thing, like, she's like, I genuinely wanna help businesses. I love putting people on. It does something for me inside that, like, I can't explain, and you could tell because every piece of content she puts out, it's full of energy, and it's full of, like, just genuineness, and I think that's what
Yes.
people are looking for. So, what would you say the best way for restaurants to build long-term relationships with creators that they trust? So how do you keep that partnership fresh and mutually beneficial?
Communication. I mean, communication's key. As the creator that's working for that restaurant, reach out, reach out like you're just, you're touching base. Say like, how's everything doing? How's business? What items are doing well? What items are not doing well? No, oh, I just went to this restaurant. They're doing this that's new. Maybe we should try that here. Bring fresh ideas. These people, they're in the same place every day, seeing the same things and same faces every day. They might not get a chance to see that fresh idea you just saw when you went out to that 30th restaurant of the month or whatever it is. So talk to them like your friend. You want to help them. If you help them, you're going to help yourself because if they're paying you at the end of the day, well, then it's a win-win.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. What would you say one mistake that you see restaurants making when it comes to influencer marketing?
Yeah, So that's tough. I don't know because in this game of like putting things out, and never knowing what works. You could think one thing, I'll never do this, it's never gonna work, but then you post it and then it does work. It's tough. It's tough to really predict the tide. You never really know. So I would just say stick to your guns and your gut. And if you think something looks good, sounds good, it will grab people's attention, go for it. I approached this game originally with more of a by the book type of I've seen this work, I've seen that work. And then as I've gone on, you just start shooting. You just start shooting and you see what you hit because you never know. Like, just have fun with it and take chances.
That's completely on point. I think one other thing that I want to shed light on when it comes to mistakes, I think a lot of restaurant owners, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ross, they look at follower counts as sometimes gospel. Like, if that follower has 50,000 followers and this follower has 14,000 followers, the 50,000 follower influencer is better. Yes, except that's my point. It's not the case. And explain why that is not the case.
I think the key word here, you're waiting for me to say it, engagement, right? Engagement is everything. You could have a million followers, but guess what? You have 20 comments and you have 30 likes. I mean, it means nothing. It means one thing. It means they bought followers, right? And it's not authentic. It's not real. That number is there for people to be like, oh, it's a wow factor. It's to get people in the door and then possibly work with them. I've seen it over and over again. Now, on the flip side, if they do have a lot of followers and they do have all the comments and the likes and the reshares and all that, well, then that is real in most cases.
Yeah. Yeah.
In most cases. So that's something you do want to look for on a positive note. But if they have a lot of followers, it really means nothing if they don't have engagement.
That's it. And I'm really shooting for the smaller influence. I shouldn't say smaller, but the ones that have the stronger engagement, the ones that have more intimate relationships with their followers. Those are going to give you way more ROI than the ones with these big followers that probably half of the followers aren't even local. So that's
Yeah.
something that you really got to pay attention to. So do your
Absolutely.
homework and dig a little deeper before you sign up with one of those larger scale influencers. So, all right, Ross, you've been in the game for a while. You've seen trends come and go. What do you think's next for restaurants and their marketing for 2026?
Yeah. Okay. I think, and it's happening now, I think but it's going to really be the move is just transparency, honesty, person to person connections. And I think humor is going to play a big part coming up. I think that funny videos will be passed around a lot.
Mm.
Humor is subjective. I think that'll be an approach, at least for me. It's going to be an approach. I know that because I really want to make funny stuff and just make people laugh because a smile is worth so much and a laugh is worth so much that I'm going to shoot for that. But I do see trending humor cutting through. It's a through line of all the content I've been seeing recently. And I want to see more of it. Let's make people laugh. Why not?
Yeah,
Let's have fun doing this.
exactly. It doesn't have to be so serious. And I love competition, but it doesn't have to be so cutthroat, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that there was a study out there where like something funny is like 8 times more shareable than something that isn't. And I know that to be almost fact because I know what I share with my friends, and
Funny.
almost 90% of it is, yeah, we're rolling on our
It's
asses.
probably inappropriate too.
I plead the fifth.
Okay, that's fine.
I
I don't
plead
see your messages. I don't know what's going on.
as we start to wrap up here, if you can give one piece of no BS advice to restaurant owners that are listening right now about influencer marketing, what would that be?
So I would say, honestly, look around and see what other restaurateurs are doing with other content creators or with them themselves, if they're the ones making the content. Because as much as you want to attach yourself to a trend, you want to be creative yourself. You want to promote your brand, you want to bring your authenticity to the people. And I think that if you're just authentic, that is going to be the key factor going forward in terms of social media. Be consistent. Be consistent.
Yeah, and I would I would add to that, get a budget together.
I wrote that down too.
I think
took that back.
we
You get, I
yeah,
think, you know what?
there's a lot of
You got to pay to play. Nowadays, that is a phrase is being thrown around all the time. pay to play. And by that, I mean, you want to bring in the big influencer, they will bring people through the door most likely, especially the ones that have the track record of doing so. But guess what? A cost. I tell every one of my clients, on top of my monthly cost, we need to always have an influencer budget every month. Whether it's enough to bring one or two, if you can get more, great, but 1 to 2 influencers a month is just it's something consistent. I think that's very, very important. Have an influencer budget.
Yep, 100%. And know your numbers too. So if you're expecting X return out of this, it's good to know that, all right, the influencer costs 300. In order for this to make sense to me, I have to bring in X from this. Then you sit down with the influencer and say, how can you help me do this? And now it's a collaboration. It's not, it's not a vendor relationship. It's now a partner relationship. And I think that's what creators are looking for. They're looking for that partner relationship. And I think you're going to be in great shape, honestly. And I think Ross has some really killer points here to share with you. What a pleasure meeting you. This is so awesome. And I'm so happy that you accepted the invite to come on the show and just talk shop and give give these restaurant owners, some insights into influencer marketing. My whole purpose here is to help restaurant owners get more educated in influencer marketing because it is a major component and pillar of marketing strategy in 2025 and 2026 and beyond. And so if I could do anything about it, I think it's my responsibility to help educate my audience to help them get more ROI out of influencer marketing because it does work, guys. If you put the right strategy, you put the right effort, and you come prepared. And I think this series is going to help all of you do just that. Before we bounce, Ross, where can people learn more about you, follow what you do, and potentially hook up with you so you can get in their venue and start creating some content for them?
That would be ideal. So you can follow me at Buffalo Chicken Pizza Guy on Instagram and TikTok and even YouTube. I'm there too. So, usually if I come to your place, it's going to be with my wife and my 2 kids. We do videos together. My goal, like you mentioned your goal with the podcast, my goal with content is to make a product that the owner of the establishment I'm working for is proud to show their friends and their family. That is my goal. I want to make sure that they can be like, look at what we have. Like, this is what our business represents. I want to represent their business through my business, and that's it.
I love that vibe. It's all about leveling up,
Yes,
dude. Ross, what a pleasure, dude. I
Henry.
will,
So
dude. This won't be the last one. I could tell.
good. Can't wait. Maybe I won't be driving on the freaking highway next time I'm doing this. I'm at an
Well, maybe
abandoned
next
diner
time
right
you're.
now. I'm not even kidding.
I love it. I love it. Well, when next time you're up north, we'll bring you into the studio and we'll crank it out there.
You got it.
All right, guys. Listen, hope you guys got some value out of today's conversation. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a review, share this with a fellow restaurant owner or somebody in the industry that's going to get value out of it. I thank you so much. I appreciate your time and attention, and I'll catch you on the next episode real soon. Take care.